Question 1 is about set of two equations, and we also call them simultaneous equations. So what does it mean is that every x and every y in both the equations are exactly same. They represent the same value, and that's why we can interchange or substitute one into the other. For that, what will I do? I will take this first equation and I'll rearrange it to write y equal to x plus 4. So I move to the x to the other side. And now this y, which is equivalent to x plus 4, I can substitute in the second one. So x square is not being substituted, so it will remain that. But y square is now x plus 4 square minus 8x minus 4y. So y will be replaced again, x plus 4 minus 16 equal to 0. Now we have only one variable x, and we can evaluate it. Let's see. So x square, if I open this bracket, I'll get x square plus 4 square, which is 16, plus 2 times x times 4, 8x. Minus 8x minus 4x minus 16 equal to 0. So x square and x square give us 2x square, 8x and 8x get cancelled. So only minus 4x is there. 16 and minus 16 cancelled out. So only minus 16 left. And this is our quadratic equation, which will give us two values for x. So to make it simple, let's divide the whole equation by 2. So we'll be left with x squared minus 2x minus 8 equal to 0. Alright, so now we can think of two numbers which multiply to minus 8 and their sum is minus 2. So x squared minus 4x plus 2x minus 8 equal to 0. If you are not comfortable with factoring like this, you can straight away use your calculator, which is capable of giving you solutions. So in this one, if I factor this, x minus 4 and x minus 4 equals 0, and that gives us x plus 2, x minus 4 equal to 0. So if I make this one equal to 0, it will give me x equal to minus 2. This will give x equal to 4. So these are the two values of x. They have not specified anywhere whether x is positive or negative, so we'll have to accept both the solutions. Now we need to find the corresponding y's for them, and I can use this equation to find y. So the first one, I'll put minus 2 first. So y equal to minus 2 plus 4 is 2. So the first answer is x equal to minus 2, y equal to positive 2. This is the first rough answer. Second, I will substitute 4 now. So y equal to minus 4 plus 4, which is 8. Second set of answers is x equal to 4, y equal to 8. So question number 2 has a line and its ends are 1, 3 and 4 minus 5. We have to find the equation of the perpendicular bisector of this line. So what will we do? We'll draw a perpendicular bisector like this. This is 90 degree. Alright? And we have to find the equation of this one. So the first step should be to find, we should find the midpoint of this line. So what will we do? We'll find the midpoint with the help of these 2 points. The formula is x1, which is 1 in this, let's name them. x1, y1, x2, y2. So it is x1 plus x2 divided by 2, and then y1 plus y2 divided by 2. So this becomes 5 over 2, and this becomes minus 1. Yeah. So the coordinates of this point are pi over 2 or 2.5 you can write divided and minus 1. Right, we have a point on the line. For finding the equation we need gradient as well. So and for finding gradient we need 2 points, and there are not 2 points on this perpendicular bisector, so we'll take again the help of these to find these 2 points to find the gradient of this line. Okay, the main line. So the gradient of a line is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So y2 is minus 5, y1 is 3, x2 4, and x1 is minus 1. That comes out to be minus 8 over 3. But the gradient of this line is minus 8 over 3. There is 90-degree angle between them. So the gradient of this line will be the negative reciprocal of minus 8 over 3, which is 3 over 8. And to find the equation of a line, we can use this formula: y minus y1 equal to m x minus x1. Right, so y and x remain y and x because that is the part of the equation, but y1 and x1 are the coordinates of the point on the line, and this is the only point on this perpendicular bisector. So it will be minus 1 and x minus 2.5, right? And we know m also now. 3 over 8. Yeah, that is the gradient. And just because they want this format ax plus by plus c, so we will just rearrange it. So first let's multiply this 8 to the other side, both of them. So after cross multiplication, 8y plus 8, right? Plus 1 times 8 will be plus 8. And now 3 is left. 3 will multiply with inside. So 3x minus 15 over 2. Again, the format is not the way we want it. So what we do, we'll just multiply whole of it by 2 so that this 2 is taken care of. So 2 times 8y will be 16y. 8 times 2 is 16. 3 times 2 is 6x. But this 2 and this 2 will cancel, so it will be left with just minus 15. And now let's put everything to the left side, rather to the right side, because we want a positive x, right? So let's put these things to the right side. So it will be 6x minus 16y minus 16 minus 15 equal to 0. And the final answer could be 6x minus 16y minus 31 equal to 0. In question 3, they have given 4 diagrams, and they are asking us to fill up this table on the right based on the properties of those diagrams. So first of all, we have to select which are not a function. For not being a function, what do? We use something called a vertical line test. So this is a vertical line. If we draw a vertical line anywhere on the graph, it must cross the graph only at one point. Actually, it is crossing this particular graph at only one point. So yeah, this is a function, and if I move this particular line anywhere, you will see it is passing only through one point. So this is a function. So we can't take it because they are saying not a function. So A is a function, so we will not take it. Let's go to the second one. Second one, we can see B part. It is crossing the graph at 2 places, here and here. We can say that this is not a function. Okay. Now let's go to C, and in C also we will draw a vertical line and move this vertical line. It is passing through only one point. It is a function. What about D? Yeah, it is a function because it is passing through only one point with this vertical line. So only B is the one which is not a function. Okay, let's go to the second one, which says one-to-one function. One-to-one function means that each 1x has only one y. Also, one y should have only one x, right? That's called 1 to 1. That means one x and one y have exclusive combination. So let's see here in the first one. In this one, there is a problem. There are two x's which have same y here at 0, right? Y 0, but there are two x's. Similarly here, there are two different x's, but the y level is same. So this one is not 1 to 1. Let's go to second one. It was not, because there are two y's which have same x. So B is also not 1 to 1. Okay. C. Yes, in both directions, one x has one y, even though if I do horizontal line or vertical line, it passes through only one point. That means one x has one y, and C is okay. Next, this one also has, even if I draw vertical line or horizontal line, every time these lines cross that specific graph at one point. So only 1 point. So D is also 1 to 1. Right, next one is a function that is its own inverse. Now, how do we know inverse? We have to draw a line in each one of them, which is y equal to x line. This is y equal to x line. And one part of the graph should be the reflection of the rest of it. And that is not here, not here. Here we can see that this part is a reflection of this part and vice versa. So this is the one which is an inverse of itself. What about the last one? It looks like, but it is not actually. If I reflect this part on this line, this will be the reflection, and which is not the graph. So this is also not an inverse of its own. So only C is the answer here. C. Okay, so next one is a function with no inverse. That means the inverse must not exist for the specific function. All right, for finding the inverse again, we will have to draw that y equal to x line. The reflection of this vertex will be somewhere here. Reflection of this x-intercept will become a y-intercept somewhere there, and this, the reflection of this will be on the other side here. All right, so if I draw a parabola with all the three, this is the function I get. And clearly, if I draw a vertical line, it will not pass that test, and that means this is not a function. The inverse is not a function, and when inverse is not a function, we call it that the original function does not have an inverse. So we will tick here. Yes, there is no inverse here. Okay, the second one. If I do the same thing, if I draw the line y equal to x, yeah, and then I reflect each point. Mainly, I will reflect the vertex and the y-intercepts. So the vertex, this will be somewhere here reflected, and this will be, okay, opposites. So basically, it will be this way. Yeah, this point will be reflected here. So that is the inverse function, and yes, it is a function. But look at the language. They're saying a function. First of all, the original function was not a function, and it should not have an inverse, but it has an inverse. So it is not a function and it has an inverse. It is contradicting both the statements, so we will not take B. Let's go to C. And we knew from previous part it is an inverse of itself. That means inverse is a function. It is passing vertical line test, so we will not take this one as well. So last, if I draw again the line and reflect this upper part, the reflection of this will be somewhat like this here, like this. And if I reflect the lower part, okay, the lower part will reflect like this. Okay, let me change the color and show you the final graph of the inverse. This will be the graph of inverse, and yes, vertical line test will pass in this one also. So it is a function, but we want no function. So the conclusion is only A is a function with no inverse. Question number 4. The curve is given and the format is y equal to a plus b sine cx. Okay, so in this they have said the amplitude is 4. So this is always the amplitude. The coefficient of sine or cos is the amplitude. So b is 4. They've confirmed. And period is pi over 3. So period in this case will be 2 pi divided by c. Yeah, and 2 pi divided by c is pi over 3. We'll find c this way. Pi and pi will get cancelled, and 3 times 2 is 6 on this side, and c will go up. So c is 6. So we already got b and c. The only part left is a, and they're saying this particular function passes through this point. That means when x is pi by 12, y is 2. So we'll just substitute these two values in the equation and we'll get it. So y is this y, 2 equal to a we are not aware of, but we know b is 4, sine c is 6, and x is given pi by 12. So 6 and 12 cancel, it becomes pi by 2. Alright, so 2 equal to a plus 4. Sine pi by 2 is 1. Okay, so 2 minus this 4 times 1 will come to the left side, becomes minus 4 equal to a. So a becomes minus 2. We got a, b, and c, all three. Now, using your values of a, b, and c, sketch the graph of a plus b sine cx. And within 0 to pi, that is what they're saying. Yeah, and pi they have given here. Right, so first of all we should start with axis, and axis is always the a part here, and a is minus 2. So this is axis. Now the amplitude is 4, so 4 above axis will be maximum. So minus 2 plus 4 will be plus 2. This is maximum, and 4 below axis will be minimum. So this is minimum. Alright, so our graph will be between maximum and minimum only. Next, the period is pi by 3. That means 1/3 of this. This is pi. So pi by 3 will be what here? Yes, this is pi by 3. This will be pi by 2 pi by 3. And this. That means one cycle must complete within this particular period. So let's start that. First thing we should do, we'll divide pi by 3 into 4 parts. So this, and this. There are 4 parts. And it's a sine. Sine starts from axis. So let me change it again. Axis is here. So it starts here. In the first part, it goes to maximum. So it will go here. In second part, it comes back to axis. The third part, it comes to minimum, and then it goes back to axis. Sorry, axis is not here, axis is down there. Let me complete one cycle. This is one cycle. And we'll repeat the same in the second cycle also. Okay, and third. And that's done. This is the graph of a plus b sine cx from 0 to pi. Question 5. The population P of certain bacterium T days after the start of an experiment is modeled by this, where K is a constant. State what the figure 800 represents in this experiment. Okay, to understand this, let's separate 800 and e to the power kt. 800 is a constant number e to the power kt, that is, it is increasing exponential, right? Because e to the power something positive is there, so it is becoming more and more. This is remaining same. When bacteria colony increases, what remains same? The total number does not remain same. So P is changing because of this E. What remains same is the initial population. So when they started calculating time, this 800 was the population of bacteria. So answer to that question is the figure 800 represents the initial number of bacteria in the colony. We can also understand this by putting t equal to 0, which is the initial time, right? When we started. So e to the power kt, this part becomes e to the power k times 0, which is e to the power 0, which is 1. So population is 800 because this is 1, right? So t becomes 800 when t is 0. So that clearly proves that at the initial point of time, when we started calculating time, the population was 800. Number 2, given that the population 20,000 in 2 days after the start of the experiment, calculate the value of k. So they have given us t equal to 2 days because t is in days. Yeah, look here. So t is 2 and p is 20,000. Find the value of k. So let's substitute 20,000 equal to 800 e to the power k times 2. Alright, so this 800 will divide both sides. So these two zeros cancel and we get 25. Equal to e to the power 2k. So 2k, and if we get rid of e, the other side becomes ln. And k will be ln 25 over 2. This is the value of k. Part 3. In part 3, we are being asked to calculate the population 3 days after the start of experiment. Okay, so again we'll put everything in this equation. So the population is unknown, we want to find it. 800 is 800. E to the power k, k we know now, ln 25 over 2. And time is 3 days. So we'll multiply 3 in front. Alright. Put this in a calculator and you'll get the population. Let's do it. 100,000 bacteria. Question 6a part, we have to express these as a single logarithm with base 3. So the good thing is that 2 of them are already base 3. The only problem is log base 2p. We have converted this to log base 3 first and then we will combine them. So let's do it. First, I will write log base 2p. And if we want to convert any log base into another one, so what will we do? We'll first write the new base and what was the original content of the log. But we'll compensate this by dividing by log same base and the base which was originally there. This is logarithmic log and this is what we got. Now we can simplify this. So we will write log base 3p over log base 3 multiplied by, then it is multiplying with log base 3 to 4. That becomes easy because this and this cancel, plus log base 3q. Since two logs are adding, when we merge them, the contents multiply, p and q, they multiply. Okay, so this is the answer for part 1, part A. What about B? It says log base a 5 square log base a n plus 3. So we have to basically find the value of a. So let's do that. Okay, So for solving this, let's assume log base a5 is t, another alphabet, because log base a5 is here, log base a5 is here, so we can take it as t. So it becomes t squared minus 4t plus 3 equal to 0, a quadratic equation, and easily we can find the solutions of this by factoring this one, or you can use a calculator, that's your choice. So t squared minus 3t minus t plus 3 equals 0, t minus 3. So I got these two factors. Okay, so this one gives us t equal to 1, and this one gives us t equal to 3. And now one by one we will find values of a, because our original expression was in terms of log base a5. So we'll write log base a5, first answer is 1. So it becomes 5 equal to a to the power 1, which is a equal to 5. Second, log base a5 equal to 3. So 5 equal to a cube. And if we cube root both sides, the other thing, exact value, possible values of a. So a is cube root 5, because cube and cube will get cancelled here. You can leave your answer like this, or whatever is the cube root of 5. That will be the answer. Question 8 has two parts, and I'm answering part A here. They have clearly given P is a vector in terms of unit vectors, and Q is another vector. And we have to find a unit vector in direction of this vector, where we have 3p minus 4q. So for that, first let's find 3p minus 4q. So what will we do? We will find the equivalent vectors of p and q. So 3p, 3 and p is 2i minus 5j and minus 4q. 4 and q is I minus 3j. So let's simplify this. 6i minus 15j minus 4i plus 4j. And if 6i minus 4i are simplified, they will give 2i minus 15 plus 12 will give minus 3j. So actually, the vector 3p minus 4q is equivalent to 2i minus 3j. And we have to find a unit vector in this direction. So for unit vector, we need to know the magnitude of this vector. So magnitude will be square root 2 square plus minus 3 square, and which will be square root 4 plus 9 square root 13. So if we want to find the unit vector in direction of this vector, suppose 2i minus 3j. So 2i minus 3j will be in this direction. Yeah, 2i minus 3j. We want a vector which is just a unit vector here. Okay, same direction, but the magnitude is just 1. And if the magnitude of the whole of it is square root 13, and if I divide this whole length by square root 13, I'll get the length equal to 1. Yeah, that's what it happens. So I will divide the original vector 2i minus 3j, which was equivalent to 3p minus 4q, divided by its own magnitude. And if you want to separate them, you can separate 2 over square root 13i minus 3 over square root 13j. In B part of this question, they have given a diagram, okay, along with the explanation. So you can pause the video and see if you understand the situation. So the river is flowing with this speed, and the toy boat, if he puts in this direction, this is a vector of that velocity of that boat, and then there will be reverse velocity which will be in this direction. So the resultant will be in this direction. But his father is standing at B. The toy boat will not reach to his father. It will reach on his left. So the better would be that the boy drives his toy boat in this direction. So what will happen from here to here? There will be the vector of the water, reverse speed, and the resultant. Since this is the arrow of the toy boat, this is the arrow of the river, so the resultants will be in this direction. And this is the proper drawing. So what will we do now? We will copy this somewhere else. So let's say that this is the resultant we want, and they have specified here 2.73 is the resultant speed. Okay, and there is the speed of river in this direction, which is 1.25 kilometers per hour. So obviously, because this is going to be a right angle triangle, the speed of the boat will be much more than 2.73 and 1.25 because it's the hypotenuse of the right angle triangle. And how much is that? Because first part says calculate the value of v. This is the speed of boat in this direction. And we can use Pythagorean theorem. So v square will be equal to 2.73 square plus 1.25 square. So v equal to square root of 2.73 square plus 1.2 square, and if I use my calculator, I get 3.0 kilometers per hour. That is the speed of boat in this direction. Second part. The direction in which the boy points the boat makes, this is the pointing of the boat here because the boat is going this way. This is the boat's direction. So it makes angle theta with AB. So A is here and B is here. So this is the angle theta. So they're asking to find the value of theta. And since we know all the sides now, we can use sine, cos, or tan, anyone. Since I'm available with the 1.25 and 2.73 here, straight away I'm using it. You can use anyone else. So tan theta, because it's opposite. This is adjacent. Opposite over adjacent is tan. So 1.25 over 2.73. And that's why theta will be tan inverse 1.25 over 2.73. Put this in your calculator and you will get 24.6 degrees. Since they have not specified what is the unit, so you can write degrees or radians. I prefer degrees, but if I use radians, it is almost 0.43 radians. Any one of those should be acceptable. Question number 9. Interestingly, they are asking us to find the first 3 terms of this binomial expansion in descending powers of x. So that means x should have the highest power first. Usually in most of the exams they ask from 0 to up, means ascending power. This is descending powers. True. Another unusual part is that it is not x and y. It is not x and a number. It is one x is a numerator, other x is a denominator, and that may change our approach. But let's see. If I give 2x to the power 8, the whole of it to the 2x and 1 over 16. I'm ignoring, this is a rough work I'm doing, so I'm ignoring the sign minus, okay? And this will be 0. What will be the power, effective power in this case? This will give us x to the power 8. This will give us x to the power 0 at bottom. So x to the power 8 divided by x to the power 0 will be x to the power 8. Okay, that looks good. Next go to the next one. 2x to the power 7. Okay, and it will be 1 over 16 to the power 1. So we have x to the power 7 on one side and x to the power 1. So it will be x to the power 6. So it was 8 first, 6 later. That means the pattern is that it will go down like this. So we don't have to worry. We'll follow this. So let's write the first one. Because the first combination has an exponent of 8 with 2x. So we will write 2x to the power 8 and this will be 8c8. Because in binomial expansion, this number and this number must match. Okay. Secondly, in binomial expansion, this time I'll write the sign 1 over 16 x. It will be 0. Yeah. 8 plus 0 should be equal to the number which is originally the exponent. So 8 plus 0 is 8. That is good. This is our first term. This is first three terms. So we'll go to the second term now. Second term will be 8c7 2x to the power 7 and minus 1 over 16 to the power 1. Next, 8c6 2x to the power 6 minus 1 over 16 to the power 1, and that's it. Okay, so let's say 8c8 will be 1 and 2x to the power 8. Okay, so 2 to the power 8 first, it should be 256. 256 x to the power 8. Now, this is 0 power, so it will be 1. Doesn't matter what is inside. If power is 0, it gives you 1. Plus 8c7 will be 8. 2x to the power 7 will be 128 to the power x to the power 7. And this was x, I forgot to write x here, so it will be times minus 1 over 16 x. Alright, the third one, 8c6 will be 28, 2 to the power 6 will be 64, x to the power 6, times minus 1 over 16 to the power x to the power 2. Okay, it looks like 1, it's 2. Alright, so the first one is confirmed, 256 x to the power 8. But here there will be some problem. So this x will cancel with one of the 7 x's and it will become 6. 16 times 8 is 128, and then 8 times 8 is 64. So minus, because of this minus 64 x to the power 6. Next. Okay, this will not be simple. So let's do it here. 28 times 64 x to the power 6 times, because the power is 2, so this negative will become positive. It will become 1 over 256 x squared. So 2 of the x's will cancel with this 6. It will remain, it will become 4. 256. Okay, this times 4 and 20 cancels 7. So it gives us positive 7 x to the power 4. These are the first three terms of the binomial expansion. In second part, they're asking something similar, but there is an additional bracket with some contents in it, and they're asking the coefficient of x to the power 4. So since we know the expansion of this, which is here, I'll just copy it. So 256 x to the power 8 minus 64 x to the power 6 plus 7 x to the power 4 multiplied by 1 over x squared plus 1 squared. So let's expand this as well. So it will be the square of 1 over x squared, which will be x to the power 4, plus square of 1, which is 1, and plus 2 times 1 over x squared times 1. Okay, can we simplify this? No. So they will remain what they are, except for this can be simplified. So I will rewrite this. It will be 2 over x squared. Okay, if I multiply those three, I get 2 over x squared. All right, this has to multiply with this. What will give us x4? We'll just focus on the one which will give us x4. If x to the power 8 is multiplied with 1 over x to the power 4, will it give us x to the power 4? Yes, of course it will. So yes, this first multiplication is right. We will do it. 256 x to the power 8 multiplied by 1 over x4 is okay. 1 over x to the power 8 multiplied with 1, will it give us x to the power 4? No. So we will not multiply with this one. Okay. What about this? It will give us x to the power 6, the third one. 256 x to the power 8 times this will give us x to the power 6. So no, we will not touch this as well. So now this times x to the power 1 over x to the power 4 will give us x squared. So we will not do that as well. Next, this times 1 will not give us x to the power 4. Very good. Let's go to the third one. This multiplied by this will give us x to the power 4. That is correct. So let's do that one. Minus 64 x to the power 6 multiplied by 2 over x square. That is giving us x to the power 4, of course. Next, 7x to the power 4 times this will not give us x to the power 4 because they get cancelled. And then 7x to the power 4 times 1. Yes, 7x to the power 4 times 1. Okay. And the next one will not give us x to the power 4. So these are the three ones which are giving us x to the power 4, and we'll simplify them. So this becomes 256x to the power 4 minus 64 times 2, 128. 128 x to the power 4 plus 7x to the power 4. 256 minus 128 is 128 plus 7 will be 135 x to the power 4. So the coefficient of x to the power 4 in expansion of that is 135. Question number 10, part A, talks about simplifying this fractional expression. So let's try to do that. So 5 plus 6 square root of 5 over 6 plus square root of 5. This is the question, and we have to simplify it. So to simplify such an expression, we rationalize the denominator with the help of conjugate of denominator. And conjugate is nothing but the sign changes with conjugate, the second part of the expression. So now same expression will be multiplied with numerator as well. So that effectively we are multiplying it with 1. Okay. So now we'll multiply them one by one. 5 times 6 will be 30. 5 times square root of 5 will be minus 5 square root of 5. 6 times, let's do this one first. 6 times 6 square root of 5 times 6 will be plus 36 square root of 5. And then 6 square root 5 times square root of 5 will be minus 6 times complete 5. Whenever a square root of 5 and square root of 5 will multiply, they will become a complete number. Basically, square root of 5 times square root of 5 is square root of 25, which is 5. So that's why I wrote this bracket. Similarly, let's do the denominator. There we'll use the expression a square minus b square equal to a plus b, a minus b. This is the identity we will use. And a plus b, a minus b is the format of this. See, a plus b, a minus b. So we can straight away write a square minus b square, which is 6 square minus square root 5 square. So let's simplify. This is 30. Yeah, 6 times 5 30. This is 30. So they will cancel out because one is positive, one is negative. And minus 5 square root 5 plus 36 square root 5 will be 31 square root 5. Okay, now 6 square is 36. Minus, again, square root 5 square. Square root and square root cancel this way, what we did earlier. So it will complete 5. So that gives us 31 square root 5 over 31. And 31 and 31 cancel. We are left with square root 5. That's the simplification. Okay, B part. Show that 3 to the power 0.5. We can write it as square root 3. Yeah? To the power half is same as square root. Times square root 7, sorry, 2 to the power 7 can be written as this format, a square root b, where a and b are integers and a is greater than b. This hint will help us later, I hope. So, in such case, we cannot factor 3 further, so let's keep it what it is. We can factor this one because it is an exponent. So what can we do? We can write square root 2 to the power 6 and square root 2. So what I did, I separated 1 square root 2 from 7. So 6 are separate and 1 is separate. Together they are again 7. So square root 3, and this will be 2 to the power half because 6 square root 2. Okay. Now square root 3 and square root 2 can be multiplied together, they will become square root 6. And half and 6 will multiply because they are exponent of an exponent, it becomes 2 cubed. Half times 6 is 3. And finally it will become 8 square root 6. So in this case A is 8, B is 6. Let's move on to the C part. Okay, solve the equation x plus square root 2 equal to 4 over x. So this x is a denominator, we should take care of this first. So let's multiply the whole equation by x. So x times x will be x squared plus the square root 2x and equal to 4. And if I take this 4 to the left side, it becomes x squared minus plus square root 2x minus 4 equal to 0. Now they are saying that we can't use calculator, right? You see, the instruction is we can't use calculator, so we have to do it manually. And I think quadratic formula is the best. So minus b plus minus square root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Alright, so minus square root 2 plus minus square root, this is square root and square root gets cancelled, so 2. 4 times 4 is 16 and positive because there are two negatives, okay, over just 2. Okay, let's move here. So minus square root 2 plus minus square root 18 over 2. Okay, that comes out to minus square root 2 plus minus, okay, 18 can be written as square root 9 times square root 2, which comes out to be 3 square root 2. So we will use 3 square root 2 here, 3 square root 2 over 2. So now 1 will be minus square root 2 plus 3 square root 2 over 2. Second will be minus square root 2 minus 3 square root 2 over 2. Okay. Here 3 square root 2 minus square root 2, it is 1, you can write it minus 1 square root 2, right? So 3 minus 1 is 2. So 2 square root 2 over 2. So 2 and 2 cancel. First answer is square root 2. Second, this is minus 1 square root 2 and minus 3 square root 2 becomes minus 4 square root 2 over 2. This 2 and this minus 4 will cancel. So answer is minus 2 square root 2 is the second answer. These are the two answers of part C. In question number 11, they have given a graph of a function. The equation is here. And the point A is a minimum. That's what they're saying here. Point A is a minimum. They are asking us to find the coordinates of A. Minimum is a kind of stationary point. Right? And what is special about stationary point? At stationary point, dy over dx is always 0 because this is the gradient of tangent. And if I draw a tangent at A, something like this, it will be a horizontal line. And the gradient of a horizontal line is 0. And that's why dy over dx is 0. So we'll differentiate the function and then make it equal to 0. So dy over dx, what is the differentiation of 16x? Will be just 16. And 27 over x squared. 27 over x squared. I'm doing it separate. Okay. So I can write this as 27x to the power minus 2. And when we differentiate it, this minus 2 will come and multiply with 27. That makes it minus 54. And this minus 2 will go down by 1. And going down by 1 minus 2 will be minus 3. And that can be written as minus 54 over x cubed. And that's what I will write here. Minus 54 over x cubed. This is equal to 0 for a stationary point. Very good. So let's go and transfer this term to the right side. So 16 equal to 54 over x cube, right? And now cross multiply, x cube will go there, becomes a numerator. 16 comes here, becomes a denominator. So x cube equal to 54 over 16. And if we cube root both sides, first of all, let's simplify them. 27, this is 8. And cube root of 27 over 8 will be 3 over 2. So we got x coordinate 3 over 2. To find the y coordinate of this, we will substitute this 3 over 2 here in the equation of the function. So y equal to 16x, x is 3 over 2, plus 27 over x square, that means 3 over 2 square. So I will put 3 square here and 2 square on top. That's what we can do. Denominator of a denominator is numerator. And that will make a simplified version of this. So 2 and 16 cancel out. 8. 8 times 3 is 224. Plus, that plus, yeah. So 3 times 2, so 3 square is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. And 3 times 4 is 12. And 24 plus 12 is 36. Y coordinate is 36. So the coordinates of point A are 3 over 2 and 36. Say the point P and Q lie on the curve, this, and x coordinates of these two P and Q are 1 and 3. So because this is 3 over 2, 1.5, so 1 will be a little lesser. So let's say this is P and its x coordinate is 1. And 3 will be somewhere here. This is Q and its x coordinate will be 3. Okay, so find the area enclosed by the curve, okay, this curve, and the line PQ. So the line PQ will be this, okay? And that means they're asking us to find the area of this particular part. So what we can do in this case, that it's a trapezium. Can you see? If I take this point, P and Q, it becomes a trapezium. So if I find the area of trapezium and I subtract the area under curve, I will get the area of the shaded part, isn't it? That is the remaining from the trapezium if I remove this area which is below it. So let's do that. First, let's find the area of trapezium, which will be half first parallel line, which is this, and unfortunately we don't know it, so better we find it. How? We substitute 1 into the equation of the curve and we'll get the y coordinate of P, which is, so y will be equal to 16 times 1 plus 27 over 1 squared, which comes out to be 16 plus 27, 43. So the height of point P is 43 units. This distance is 43. That's what we need. Okay, let's talk about the other height, which is of Q from x-axis. So same method. Y equal to 16 times 3 this time plus 27 over 3 square, which will be 48, and this will be 9. 9 times 3 is 27 plus 3 equals to 51. So here it will be 43 plus 51 multiplied by the height. Height is the distance between two parallel lines, and 1 and 3, this is the distance, which is 2. So 2 is the distance, so 2 and 2 cancel, that comes out to 94 units square. That's the area of the trapezium. Now we have to find the area under the curve, and for finding the area under the curve, we integrate from 1 to 3. That is the definite integral, and it will be 16x plus 27 over n. The integration of 16x will be 16x square over 2 plus, and let's do it somewhere else. Okay, 27x to the power minus 2. That's what 27 over x square can be written as. So to integrate it, this will become plus 1 divided by minus 2 plus 1. So that gives us what? 27x to the power minus 1 divided by minus 1. So that means we can put up minus here. There's no need to write minus 1 at the bottom. So let me undo this one first, and then we'll write it. Minus 27 over x. That's what it is. Minus 27 over x plus c. All right. And it is from 1 to 3. Okay. Now we substitute 3 first and then 1. So 16, 3 square over 2 minus 27 over 3 plus c minus 16, 1 square over 2 minus 27 over 1 plus c. So 2 and 16 can cancel. 8 and 3 square is 9. 8 times 9 72. Minus 27 divided by 3 is 9 plus c minus 16 divided by 2 is 8. Okay, and next one will become plus. This minus and this minus, 27 minus c. So plus c and minus c cancel out. 72 minus 9 is 63, minus 8, 55, plus 27, 82. And our equation was that the area of trapezium minus, which is 94, minus area on the curve, which is 82, that is 12 units square. This is the final answer. Question number 12 says this is the curve. The second derivative of the curve is this. Given that the curve has a gradient of 6. So curve has a gradient just like previous question. The gradient of the curve is same as the gradient of tangent. Gradient of tangent is same as dy over dx. So what are they saying? Dy over dx is 6 at the point 9 over 2, 2 over 3. Okay. So we have second derivative here. Let's find the first derivative by integrating it. So if I integrate d square y over dx square, I will get dy over dx. So I have to integrate the other side also, 2x minus 5. 2x minus 5 to the power minus half dx. Okay, and now let's integrate this one, because this is an ax plus b format. So if we want to integrate this, it will be like this: 2x minus 5 minus half plus 1 divided by minus half plus 1, and further we divide it, basically multiply by 1 over and divide by whatever is the differentiation of the content of the bracket. So what is the differentiation of 2x minus 5? 2. So we divide the whole of this by 2, and I'm showing it by multiplying by half, the same as dividing by 2. Right? I don't want to confuse with this and this, that's why I have written it separate. So let's write simplified form. So 2x minus 5 to the power positive half divided by positive half. So I'm not writing positive half here, I will write just 1 here and 2 here. Yeah, because denominator of a denominator is numerator, and multiplied by half. And this 2 and this 2 cancel out. So basically we are left with only square root 2x minus 5, because power half means square root. And finally plus c. And they have given us that dy over dx is actually 6 at 9 over 2. So let's use this fact. 6 equal to square root 2x minus 5. X is actually 9 over 2 minus 5 plus c. So this will give us c. So 2 and 2 cancel here. So 9 minus 5 is 4. Square root of 4 is 2. 6 equal to 2 plus c. So c comes out to be 6 minus 2, 4. So dy over dx is equal to square root 2x minus 5 plus 4. Now the same. Find the equation of the curve. So we have to further find the equation of curve. So we integrate both sides again. So integration of dy will be integration of square root 2x minus 5 dx plus 4 dx. So integration of dy will be y equal to integration of this. Let's do it separate. Somewhere here to save space and keep it clean. So 2x minus 5 square root. This is what I want to integrate. So I will do what? Square root change to half or half. So it will be plus 1 divided by half plus 1 and again divide by the differentiation of the content of bracket, which is 2. Alright, 2x minus 5 to the power 3 over 2 over 3 over 2 multiplied by half this. 2 and 2 cancel, so this is our integration. That's what I will write here. 2x minus 5 to the power 3 over 2 over 3 and then integration of 4 dx will be 4x and then c. Right. Now we have to find the value of c. Everything else is ready with us. To find the value of c, we can plug in the 0.9 by 2, 2/3, which has been given to us. So that will help us do this. Let's do it. 2 over 3 equal to 2x is 9 over 2 minus 5 and the whole is 3 over 2 over 3 plus 4 times 9 over 2 plus c. I'm doing this mentally. You can use your calculator, put everything in here and you'll get c, but I'm doing it mentally. 2 and 2 get cancelled out. So 2 over 3 equal to 9 minus 5 is 4 again and power 3 over 2 will be 8 over 3 plus 2 and 4 also get cancelled. 2 plus 9 is 18 plus c. So c will be 2 over 3 minus 8 over 3 minus 18 and this will be minus 6 over 3 minus 2 minus 18 minus 20. So the final equation of the curve, I will use this one. Yes, this one. With c. So will be y equal to 2x minus 5 over 3 to the power 3 over 2 plus 4x minus 20.